What are shiny white structures? Here's two examples. Both are shiny white structures, right? Which was more expensive? I'm just asking for a friend. Before we deep dive into shiny white structures and why they are massively important to us in primary care dermoscopy, I need to warn you, don't fall into the common trap of seeing something white and calling it a shiny white structure. Hands up if you've done that. Yes, I have. What? You too, Dave. There's a lot of white structures out there in the skin. We've covered a few in other videos, but there are more. Shiny white structures are super useful when sorting out how to manage a patient's skin lesion, even if I don't know what it is. It's critical for your success to understand what we're talking about, why they occur, and how to recognize them. In the literature, you'll find other names, but shiny white structures is the best term to use. Let's go all sciencey for a bit. Is sciencey a word, I wonder? Look at this crystal. This effect was first described by Danish scientist Rasmus Bartholin in 1669, who observed this double refraction of light. The sciencey name given for this ability is birefringent. Use that if you want to sound like a nerd or to impress people in high places. This Icelandic calcite crystal has one of the strongest birefringencies of any material. Watch what happens when you look at it through a polarized filter and rotate it. Notice how the image changes. Let's try this with a patient's skin lesion. This 56-year-old is a PPPP, a person with a pink papule problem. It doesn't look like much, does it? Slightly raised on one side, firm to touch. What is of concern, however, is that she's only noticed it 4 weeks ago. In other videos, I've talked about other common causes for a pink papule: intradermal nevi, basal cell nodular cancers, dermatofibromas, but there are many more. The scary one that keeps me awake at night is an amelanotic melanoma. This is a melanoma that's lost its ability to produce the dark pigment melanin, so they are pink. They are about as rare as a unicorn wearing a hat jumping over a frog. PPPs should always have your full dermoscopic antennae twitching at maximum alertness. If it's pink, papula growing, and you can't give it a benign non-cancer diagnosis, it will probably need cutting out or referring to someone else who can make that decision. You can only see these shiny white structures under polarized light. If the white structures you are looking at are seen just as well in non-polarized light, they're not shiny white structures. Watch what happens now to these shiny white structures when I rotate my dermoscope. Just like the polarized lens rotating over the crystal, the reflective light changes position relative to the lens. These white structures in the skin are therefore birefringent in nature. Why is this happening? There are 3 reasons, and each one results in a different pattern of shiny white structures on dermoscopy. The third type being the one you need to worry about most. First off, what do these look like? They are caused by fibrosis within the openings on the skin, such as hair follicles and sweat glands, giving a 4-leaf clover type pattern. We call them rosettes. You may find them in many types of skin lesion, and they aren't pathognomonic for any particular skin lesion. Let's look again at our lady with the PPPP. Notice this. She has 2 rosettes around hair follicles. Under non-polarized light, you lose the 4 dots and you just see a faint white ring. When I see the odd rosette like this, I just think it's sun-damaged skin. However, when I see a flock of them on a red background, this is more common for an actinic keratosis, Bowen's, or even an invasive squamous cell cancer. I'm then looking for clues as to which of those it is. Actinic keratosis is a nuisance and I can treat it. Invasive squamous cell cancer, not so much. Our second pattern looks something like this. What shape would you call them? I think of fluffy cotton wool, but maybe that's just me. But it's what's called a blotch and strand variety. This 56-year-old gentleman has a PPPP behind his left ear, having noticed it a few months previously. It's firm and clinically suspicious for a nodular BCC. Note the classic arborizing vessels and pink homogeneous background. The shiny white structures here are caused by changes to the dermal stroma around the nest of cancer basaloid cells. The third pattern are thin white lines, either parallel or perpendicular to each other due to stromal alteration, fibrosis, and increased dermal collagen. This 82-year-old gentleman noticed a mole changing on his left outer thigh. It ticked a couple of our ABC criteria, but it's small, only 4 to 5 millimeters at most. Here's the dermoscopy. First of all, is it an EVUS, i.e. of melanocytic origin? Well, yes, there's a network pattern and also some aggregated globules. But look at these shiny white structures. They are perpendicular to each other and create this rhomboid angular type shape. This pattern is associated with melanomas, which is what this proved to be on excision. Let's now go back and look at the shiny white structures of the lady with the undiagnosed PPPP. Apart from the couple of rosettes, there are some short white lines, but I think overall it's mostly of the blotch variety. I was thinking the other day, wouldn't it be really nice if someone had checked every type of skin lesion you or I were likely to see for these shiny white structures, just to see how common they are? Oh, what have we got here? Oh wow, 11,000 consecutive skin lesions checked for shiny white structures. Well, buckle up baby, because the results are in. In the case of shiny white structures in non-melanocytic skin lesions, the jury finds the following. Scars, 91% have shiny white structures, which makes sense because if your skin is injured, the fibroblast in the dermis will create new collagen to heal the wounds. Dermatofibromas, 75%, often in a radial pattern, but that too makes sense because these are caused by small trauma to the skin, such as from an insect bite. BCCs, 48%, squamous cell cancers, 12%, actinic keratoses, 8%, hemangiomas, 4%, seborrheic keratoses, go on, have a guess, 1%. What about the results in moles and melanocytic lesions? Only 7 of 10,000 benign nevae examined had shiny white structures. But listen to this, a stonking 67% of melanomas. It was noted that the deeper the depth of invasion of the melanoma, the more likely they were to be present. How can we use this information to help guide us when we see shiny white structures in a skin lesion in primary care? Let me give you the simple rules that I've designed that has served me well. This is how my decision making goes. Rosettes, sun damage, but if there's a lot of them, is it actinic keratosis, in situ squamous cell or invasive squamous cell cancer? If it's of the blottom strand or short white line variety, then I ask myself, do I know what this skin lesion is? If the answer is yes, it's fine. But if I don't, is it a scar? If not, is it a dermatofibroma? If not, is it a BCC or SCC? If I still don't know what it is, I consider it a melanoma until proven otherwise. It needs referral to secondary care on the cancer care pathway to be reviewed. Simples, a little tip. Be aware of sun-damaged scalps. You'll often see lots of little scattered, short, shiny white structures. It's a recognised thing with scalps, and if you don't know this, then these shiny white structures can freak you out. Well, they did me until I realised. I think it's caused by ultraviolet light damage in the skin, causing all those collagen changes, resulting in the birefringent structures. I love the word birefringent. It's been said by someone that your patients are your best teachers, but only if you choose to listen to them. The following patient is an example of that. She's 70 and noticed this papule growing on her neck over 3 months. She's a PP. It's firm but not hard to touch, and from a naked eye perspective, the list of possible causes is long. Here's the dermoscopy. Pause the image and list all the dermoscopic findings you can see. Then I'll tell you what I see and you can compare your list with mine. Are you ready? Note the well demarcated edge. There's no melanocytic criteria here, such as pigmented network or aggregated globules, although these brown bits here could fool you into thinking they're aggregated globules. They aren't. There's a homogeneous pink background. Some of the vessels have a milky white surround to them, and the evenly spaced vessels are mostly hairpin in nature. At the upper part, we can see some shiny white structures of the wispy blotch variety. There are scattered odd blue-grey globules. Are these ovoid nests? I was saying to myself. The shiny white structures have me thinking. Is this a scar? No, it's not. Is it a dermatofibra? No. Is this a BCC? Especially if there are ovoid nests. What about these brown, well-demarcated globules? They remind you most of comedome-like openings of a SEB-K. So I was torn. Is this a SEB-K or a BCC? Avoid cryotherapy here, I hope. Histology is needed. The lady was happy for me to remove it for her with an excision biopsy. Here is the histology. Lichen planus, like keratosis. And I went, what on earth is that? It's what happens when either a pseudolentigo or a seborrheic keratosis becomes inflamed. As the keratinocytes start to die, they contain melanin, and macrophages in the skin gather them up to become melanophages and become pigmented. Being in the dermis, they turn blue, and I assume that's the cause of these blue nests. It's called lichen planus because on histology the findings are very similar. Otherwise, it has nothing to do with lichen planus that we normally can find on the skin. The thing about lichen planus like keratosis is that 50% of them have shiny white structures. There! Bet you won't forget that, but at least you can't say I didn't tell you. Would you like to know the outcome for the original PPPP lady with a papule on her arm? Do you know what? So would I. I've referred her on the 2-week cancer care pathway, and I'm waiting to hear the outcome as I write, as I video, as I talk. I'll post the results in the comment section below as soon as I have them. Add your own comment before then telling me what you think it is. Go on, you know you want to. But if I were a betting man, although I'm not, this is my differential. Number 1, it could be a BCC. Secondly, it could be an atypical dermatofibroma. And last but not least, that unicorn with a hat on, jumping over a frog. And if it is, I may have saved a life by knowing all about shiny white structures. Training a primary care dermoscopist for every general practice.